Hey everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 151. If you are a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back. And if you are a new viewer, thanks so much for checking out my podcast. I generally talk about knitting, spinning, and hand dyeing yarn, like I do, with a cup of tea in hand, as always. Sometimes soda, but today it's tea. Anyway, it is Thursday morning. I have lots to show you, lots to talk about, so I'm hoping this will be a relatively longer episode than it has been in the past. I think last week was about 20 minutes, but anyway, yeah, it's been a very, very crazy past couple of days, and I apologize if I haven't gotten back to any of you who have contacted me. I'm making my way down the list and getting to you as quickly as I can. It's just been a little bit nutty over here, which I'll talk about in the blather section. Or should I talk about it in the blather section? Maybe I'll just give you a quick recap of what's been going on. So this past weekend, Dennis's parents came over, my in-laws. We had a really lovely time. We took them out to dinner, and we just had a really nice weekend with them. Can you see that in the back? That's Bella trying to get in. She can do it. She wants me to open it for her, but I'll let her figure it out. She's a lot stronger than she lets on. But anyway, so yeah, we had a really, really lovely time with Dennis's parents over the weekend. And they stayed from Saturday to Sunday. And then Sunday was interesting. I don't want to get into too much detail because it's a little bit of a horror story, but after Dennis's parents left, we kind of relaxed a little bit, and Dennis had band practice, and when he left for band practice, I was like, okay, great. I'm going to have a little bit of quiet time. I'm going to go up, I'm going to knit, I'm going to watch some Outlander, catch up with my shows and podcasts. So I got all settled in, and then maybe about 15 to 20 minutes after Dennis left, he gives me a call. He's like, hey, would you mind just going down and checking out the rental unit of our place, because it was raining, and it was our first like mega downfall that we've had since we moved in. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I get up, I go downstairs, open the door, everything's fine. I'm on the phone with him. There she is. And I'm like, oh, everything's fine. And I get to the back room and I stop dead in my tracks. And sure enough, water was just flowing into said apartment. It wasn't horribly flooded. I mean, it was just a constant stream, a steady stream of water that was flowing in into the rental unit. And I was like, I don't know what we should do about this. Do we want, I don't want to tell you have to turn back, because he was literally he was on the train going to band practice, and I just sent him a photo of what was happening, and he's like, all right, I'm coming back, and we're gonna take care of it. So long story short, he came back, and thankfully our neighbors, who are awesome, came over to help. Him and his girlfriend, they came over, brought some snacks, brought some wine, and we made a party of it. Just cleaning up, sandbagging. The sandbagging didn't happen until later. We, after we got the situation under control, we blocked the flood coming in. They left, and then me and Dennis went over to Home Depot and stacked up on sandbags, and we got a wet back. So we didn't go to bed until 2 a.m. And the rain did not stop until, I want to say, yesterday. So it's just been a constant, I can't even describe it. It's just been, after everything that we've been through with this place, it's just one thing after the other. And we have to get a sump pump installed, because apparently the drain that was supposed to collect the water is just a dirt pit. It goes nowhere. It does not connect to any sewer. But anyway, I will stop talking your ear off about this stuff, because I'm sure you want to get onto the knitting, because I do have knitting to show you guys. So without that, I will save the rest for blather. But otherwise, it was a lovely weekend. I hope everyone else had a lovely weekend. Got lots of knitting done. But yeah, so I will get on to knitting. So I have two FOs, one of which is not here. It's out of the house. I gifted it to Dennis's mom as a belated Mother's Day present. If you remember, I was knitting a pair of socks from A Thing for String, which Laura from Jinx Yarns / the Dyer's Notebook gifted to me after her vending at DFW. So here's the label, A Thing for String. So yeah, it was basically just 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. I have some yarn left over. I will insert a photo of the finished socks here. I blocked them. My mother-in-law loved them. She was really over the moon about them, which I was excited about. So yay. And so that went over really well. Lots of fuzzballs around here. So yeah, like I said, I will try and insert a photo so you can see what they look like. But yeah, just a really fun yarn to work with. Again, I'm not a huge fan of pooling, but they really turned out. I did not mind the way these pooled because the colors just kind of welded together so well. Yeah. So that was really fun. And then I have another finished object that I am super excited about. As I mentioned, I was still working on my canopy shawl last week. I was almost done, but I finished it. And here it is. I can't fill up the whole screen with it because it didn't block as big as I thought it was going to block out to be, but it is still relatively large. So, and this is a pattern by B Mandarins, Melody of the Mandarins podcast. And just a really, really beautiful, enjoyable knit. The wool is Voolenvine in their a little bit wicked colorway, which is a deep variegated bluish, a deep cool tonal purple. And you can really see the tonal shifts in there, which is really cool. And normally, because I bought this online, the photo online looks nothing like the yarn does actually in person. I bought it from the loopyu.com, and their photo of it looked a little bit more dusty violet lavender, and when it got here, it was just like this deep purple. Something I normally wouldn't choose for myself, but honestly, I'm really pleased with the way that it turned out, and I wouldn't wear this like a kerchief. I would just kind of either do something like this, which I'll probably wear it more like, but I knitted some beads inside of it, so it has little triangles that I did not chart out the way that I added the beads at all, but the pattern does not call for beading whatsoever. I just added them as I was going along, and I just created like a little triangle motif with them. But I want to do a tutorial on how to knit with beads, so that's coming down the pike soon. But yeah, just a really, really lovely fun knit, and the yarn is so soft. And this is how much yarn that I have left over. It's a Voolenvine's sport weight, and I forget what that is, but it's a merino nylon cashmere. Really, really soft. Highly recommend it. Working with it, it's a little bit of an investment, as I mention on every episode when I talk about it. But it's so worth it, I think. So, but yeah, I am going to probably either be wearing it like this, or I can also wear it like this as a little shrug, like so. But yeah, I really fell in love with the color. So I think the color really is me, I guess. It really works. It jives with me. I don't know. I like it. And it matches my nail polish. So there you go. And I guess I'll wear it. It's a little chilly out today, a little overcast. As I mentioned, the rain stopped, but the clouds are still here. It was sunny yesterday, but yeah, it may rain again. I hope not. I really, really hope not. But yeah, so anyway, it's done. I almost want to knit another canopy shawl because it was so fun to knit. But after seeing Molly's campsite shawl, I really want to cast one on. It's so big and so, I don't know, I want to knit one. And I was talking with Molly, as I mentioned, Molly of A Homespun House. She has a podcast as well. And we were talking, I was telling her how I wanted to cast one on, and she's like, you know, you should totally just dye up your own yarn for it. I'm like, you are so right. And we were talking back and forth about what color, and she mentioned Ocean in a Shell, which is, it's been a while since I dyed up Ocean in a Shell, which is this colorway. So it's a light shell pink with subtle blue variegations inside, like a very light blue. The only thing that I decided to do with this is add some speckles to it, some brown speckles. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very subtle. And this is my DK weight, my Smitten DK, which is a merino nylon cashmere again, and it's really soft, and I think it'll be perfect for a campsite shawl. So I have 2 or 3 skeins of it that I dyed up, and I don't know when I'm going to cast on, maybe tomorrow after I'm done with my shop update, which I will talk about at the end of the show. But yes, I will be having a shop update tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will be launching my new website. So I'm definitely going to be talking about that. So stay tuned to the end. I'll get more in detail in case you're not interested. So yeah, this will be going on the needles hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. So yeah, that is all that I have going on the needle, that I have off the needles at the moment, but still on the needles. I actually, put a dent in my Cozy Memories blanket, and I can fold it up, you guys. I can fold it up. It's, you know, it's a long strip right now. I'm still knitting for width right now, and then I will, once I decide how wide I want this to be, I really don't know how wide I want it to be, but I think I'm going for something that I can like drape over the sofa, I think. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I put a dent in it. This is 1 square. This yarn right here is some hand spun from Carlene, who it was so awesome to meet her at Gauge Intention when she stopped by to say hello, and she was so awesome that she just gave me some mini skeins, one of which included some hand spun from her D-spackle, and immediately I'm like, this is going in the blanket. But it wasn't enough to make 1 square, so I added some of my own hand spun that matched it. So this is Hobbledehoy hand spun that I spun up, and then this is her hand spun from her loop bullseye bump that she spun up. So I really love the way that turned out. So yeah, thank you, Carlene. And then, I don't know why I just decided to flip over to the other side, I guess because the yarn kind of meshed well. I added some mini skeins from Vanessa of Lanai Yarns. She sent me a whole bunch of mini skeins. And I can't remember which colorway this is, but it's really fun. It's neon. It has white. Oh, no, this is her Manic speckled. So it's white, but it has like all these different color neon speckles in it. And then this is from Samantha, Lavender Loon on Ravelry. We did a mini skein swap, and she sent me really fun mini skeins as well. So this one is from On the Round. So this is an On the Round colorway, and I can't remember the colorway name. And this is another one from Republic of Wool, which I really love the colorway name for this one. I think it's called Gangster of Love. And yeah, so 1 more square, and then I get to start another row, and I'm just going to keep going and going until I decide how wide I want it to be. So yeah, I'm surprised at how much progress that I made on it, and yeah, so yay, it's coming along. I haven't forgotten it. So yeah, that's where I am with that. Lots of ends to weave in, mainly just around the edges. I'm waiting until, you know, I knit another square and these ends are kind of like sandwiched in between other squares so I can weave them in appropriately. So yeah. And speaking of mini skein swaps from Samantha, she sent me a whole bunch of tea as well. And this one, what did I do with the tag? I can't remember. What did I do? It's really good. I think it's by, I had the tag, I put it down. Oh, here it is, okay. And this is, the tea is from Native American Tea Company in Victory Tea. Take pride in victory. And let's see, here's the tag. And it's really good. It has like a lot of rose hips in it. So yeah, there's wild cherry bark, hibiscus flower, rose hips, orange peel, spearmint leaf, lemongrass, and natural flavors. So lots going on, but it tastes so good. And generally, I'm not a fan of rose hip tea, because it's kind of, I know it's really good for women in general, but it's very pungent, or I don't know, it's not fruity, but very tangy, I want to say. But this is very subtle. It's very delicate but still flavorful at the same time. And I definitely taste the rose, which I love. So that's really, really good. So thank you, Samantha. She sent me a whole bunch of other goodies as well. So I have more tea. We swapped a lot of tea. So there's Trader Joe's Rooibos and Honeybush tea. And then there's she wrapped everything so nicely. Tahitian vanilla hazelnut. I think I've tried that before. That one's really, really good. I'm going to have to make that one next. She sent me this really lovely tag. Thank you. So, let's see. Okay, so we got some pomegranate white tea and from Trader Joe's. And here's some of the other mini skeins. So this one is the Flying Kettle in patina, which is a really fun colorway. And then there's Three Irish Girls. This one I really like. It's the cocoa colorway. And she did a really lovely job labeling all these. Dyed especially for 7-4B. So she wrote like what project she used them for, and just really, really pretty. And then we have some Mad Tosh. This really cool buttercup. The colorway is called Masala. Mad Tosh Marine Light. It's been a while since I knit with Mad Tosh. I might have to revisit that soon. But yeah, thank you so much, Samantha. And she sent me this really cool Haya kitty snips, which I think is used. I haven't used it yet, so I wanted to show it off on the podcast. But you've probably seen these around. They're just like these little scissors to cut your yarn, which is really, look at that. And it's this little kitty cat that just kind of holds your snips. So really, really cute. And they come in different colors too. So let me see. And I actually needed something like this, actually, because like when I travel, they come in handy. Oops, there we go. So there you go. Yay! Thank you, Samantha. Really fun to get in the mail. So yeah, that. So let me see, what else do I want to talk about? So now I have my lattice shawl that I can fully devote all my attention to, which is a pattern by Maria from Stitched in Sweden, and Monska. A really lovely pattern that I haven't put a dent in the past week and a half, I want to say. So I'm definitely going to whip that out and work on it, because it's lovely yarn, it's a lovely pattern, and it'd be nice to have another shawl to knit alongside my campside shawl that I'm going to cast on. I want to knit all the things, apparently. So, and what else? I'm looking at my show notes over there. So I think that's all that I have going at the moment, project-wise. I haven't worked on my cross stitch, my frosted pumpkin stitchery tea time cross stitch, and I want to pick that up again because it would be really nice to have some wall decorations going on in the kitchen. So I think finally now we're all settled in and pretty much unpacked. I mean, I have a couple more boxes, but now I think it's time for us to just add some decoration to the wall, because I'm kind of like getting a little stir crazy staring at blank walls. I need to cozy it up a little bit, I think. So now I feel like I'm babbling. So I'm going to move on to Treat Yourself, because my mother-in-law spoiled me when she came over. As I mentioned last week, they went to Webb's on their way, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, on their way back from Cape Cod. They stopped off at Webb's, which is an epic yarn shop. It's huge. I've never been, but I want to go now. But yeah, she came away with a large haul and picked up some yarn for me. So lots of yarn. So I will show that off now. So yeah. Let me see. I've never worked with this yarn before, but I've seen it. And she got it on sale too, so it's good stuff. Noro. She got me 2 skeins of Noro. Again, never worked with the stuff, but it's such a fun colorway. It's their single ply. Let me see. Tayo Sport. Let me see if there's any. It's cotton, silk, wool, and polymade. So I don't. What am I looking for? Like a name. Colorway 14. Very fitting, right? What could 14 mean? 14 colors, 14 what? I don't know, but it's colorway 14, lot A. So there you go. It has some greens, it has some cobalt blue, cyan, some magenta. Like I love that shock of magenta in there. Some yellow and some white, and it's very squishy. Squishy, squishy. I don't know what I'm going to be making with this. Maybe a shawl. I don't know. But I don't. What is it? Is it like? Oh, it's sport weight. Sport weight. Huh. So maybe a pair of socks. I don't know. We'll find out. But this is awesome. And then, of course, she got me some Cascade Yarns alpaca lace. I feel alpaca is all the rage lately. Everyone is knitting something with alpaca, super baby alpaca. I don't know, but I feel like for summer, everyone is knitting with it. So now I get to be part of the cool club where everyone's knitting with alpaca lace. But here's the logo. Oops, there it goes. She got me 4 skeins of these, and it's this navy blue. It's like a gray, navy blue gray heather. It's 100% baby alpaca, 50 grams, 437 yards, and again with the colorways. Colorway number 1417. You can't make this stuff up. It's just, that colorway name speaks to this yarn so well. So I don't know what I'm going to be knitting with this. I mean, maybe another shawl. I can hold the yarn together. I could try my hand at another Even Star shawl, but I don't know if I want to knit one in blue or navy blue. It could be a featherweight cardigan. I don't know, but I think this is going to be a shawl with the strands held together, as my mother-in-law suggested. So I might just do that. We'll see. This one came unskeined a little bit, but I have 4 of these. And then this one, she got me a bunch of these. I have no idea what I'm going to knit with this, but the colorway is so fun. I have, let me see, I think I have 6 skeins of this. And it's Toria Cape Town Collection by Plymouth Yarn. It's hand-dyed. 80% kid mohair and 20% nylon. And you can scan for a free pattern. Haha. So I do not know what I'm going to knit with this. But it's 25 grams, 229 yards. This could be a really funny, not a funny, a really fun sweater. I don't know. But yeah, it has some pink in there, some bubblegum pink, has some buttercup yellow, spring green. Is there blue? Yeah, there's some blue in there. It's just a really fun colorway. And I'll be honest, I've never knit with mohair, kid mohair before. So this will be an experience. It will be. So Carol, if you're watching, thank you. This is awesome. So I've got a new stash. I've got new stuff to add to my stash that I'm very excited about. So I've got new stash that I'm very excited about. So yeah. Woo! So that's all the haul that I have this week, aside from my hand-dyed stuff. But, oh, I did not talk about, I cast on a new pair of socks. I did not talk about in what's on my needles, because I just cast it on yesterday. I was pretty much just running around doing work and everything, and then finally I had maybe about like a half an hour to myself and cast on a pair of socks. So I decided to cast on, stuff is falling from my desk. The sky is falling. So I couldn't resist. I saw this in my stash, and this is the yarn swap that I did with Vanessa from Lenai Yarns. We swapped some yarn. I sent her some of mine. She sent me some of hers, and I fell in love with this colorway called Across the Universe. And this is all that I have cast on at the moment, or knit up at the moment. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, it's white, but it has, she's very good with speckling, you guys. So there's some blue in there, there's some red speckles, purple speckles, green, yellow. So it's across the board with colors, which I'm assuming why she called it Across the Universe. Lots of colors. Every color you can think of is in here. Purple. And it's just really fun. From what I can see so far, it's going to be a really fun pair of socks. Motorcycles. Great. So yeah, I'm just going to knit a pair of plain vanilla socks, although I do want to cast on a pair of Bickerstrat socks, a pattern by Raybot from Junk Yarn. She wonderfully sent me a free pattern, or gifted me a pattern, her pattern that she designed, and I've been itching to cast that on. I'm just waiting for the right yarn. I'm waiting for the right yarn to speak to me and to cast it on. So yeah, but yeah, these are so fun. And of course I'm knitting on my Carbons US 1.5s, 2mm, I believe. So that's on the needles as well. So I'm going to move on to Ask Away, and this week I'm going to answer a question that I generally get asked quite often. So a lot of you want to know, how do I stay organized while working from home? Because it can be, for some people, they find it challenging working from home. They either find it hard to stay motivated or it's too distracting. For me, it's quite the opposite, and I probably chalk that up to being kind of introverted. I get more done when I'm on my own, and I'm in my own surroundings. I don't know, I can't really explain it, but I work very well at home, so it's the perfect situation for me. But yeah, as you know, if you've been following my podcast, back in October of 2014, I left my day job at an office and as a video editor, and I took my yarn dyeing business full time. So I'm working from home now, and yeah, so it took me a while to kind of find a groove and a schedule that worked for me. I remember the first couple of weeks just trying to find my footing and, what do I do? When do I do this? When should I do that? When should I do a shop update? Do I do it once a week, every other week? But yeah, eventually I found a schedule that works for me. So just to give you a little rundown of my schedule, I guess I'll start with Friday, since that's when when I aim to do my shop updates once a week. So I generally get up the same time Dennis does, and generally get the ball rolling at maybe like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So on Friday when I do my shop updates, I make sure everything's scanned, everything's photographed, and everything's ready to go in the shop by 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when I generally do my shop updates. And then after that, after everything's in the shop and good to go, I take the rest of the day off. I mean, I answer some emails and whatnot, some, low maintenance admin things, but for the most part, I give myself the rest of the day and the weekend to just relax and do what I need to do that's non-work related. So there's that. And then Mondays are when I process orders, when I package them and ship them. So and I try to get everything, if I have a lot of orders that I need to package, usually it leaks over into Tuesday. So I have the USPS come and pick up all my packages and send them on their way. So usually by Tuesday, Wednesday, packages are packed up and shipped out the door. And then the rest of the week, I try to dye every single day of the week, except for Friday when I'm doing the update. So Monday through Thursday, I aim to dye yarn every day. Sometimes I only get to do it 3 days a week, but for the most part, I aim for 4. So yeah, that's about it. And then the rest of the time is a lot of email answering and admin stuff. And then if I can't do a shop update because of a holiday on a Friday, or it just doesn't work out and life happens, I push shop updates to Monday. And I may or may not do a mini shop update that Friday. So, but yeah, I mean, that's just to give you an idea of how my workflow goes. But it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be as easy without certain tools. And there are certain tools that are essential to my workflow that I cannot live without. That I can't imagine living without now. And some of those things are my Dymo labeler, which prints out all of my shipping labels. Before that, I was printing out each label, cutting them out and slapping them and taping them to the package. That takes up way too much time and materials for me. So I have a roll of sticky labels that I put into the Dymo labeler, and it prints everything out for me. And it works in conjunction with a website that I use called ShipStation.com. And it's amazing, you guys. I mean, if you have a lot of packages to ship out, definitely check it out. It's, I believe, the lowest tier is about $25 a month, but it's so worth it. And they are in no shape or form endorsing me. I just swear by them. So basically, it links. You can hook up your Etsy shop or whatever Big Cartel, WooCommerce, whatever it is. You can hook it up to ShipStation, and it imports all of your orders right there, and it links up to my Dymo labeler, and everything is just automated. I just fulfill all the orders there, and everything just flows and it works, which is amazing. So I can't live without that. So I highly recommend those things. And also I use PayPal for fulfilling custom order invoices. And yeah, I just find that my whole workflow is streamlined with those things. And anything that you can automate, anything that you can add a motor to or automate is a plus, because that will up your productivity by a lot. So even though some things can be an investment, if it's going to speed up your process and make it that much better, it's so worth it. So yeah, that's pretty much how I stay organized. And Excel sheets. I am by no means a mathematician. I stink at math, but I find that it helps to keep like a running list of my expenses, my income, and every time I purchase something for the shop, be it supplies, materials, I automatically just enter it into the Excel sheet, and it's there for me. And I find Etsy, you can download your reports on sales and whatnot and import it into Google Excel sheets. It's like Google's equivalent to Excel, or a spreadsheet, what have you. So I find that very helpful. So I hope you find that helpful, and that answers your question. But yeah, otherwise it's really nice being able to work from home. I really enjoy it. The only downside to it, I would say, is that I don't leave the house. It just doesn't. Sometimes I realize I'm hungry. Let me go get a snack from the refrigerator, and I realize, oh my gosh, we have nothing in the house. I actually have to leave the house and go grocery shopping. So yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. But that's just how I am as a person. So yeah, for some people it works, some people not so much, but it's a good thing. So I hope that answers your question. And if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer on the podcast, be it knitting related, spinning related, work related, pop over into the YarnGasm Ravelry group. I have a thread called Ask Away, and just ask me anything in there, and I'd be happy to answer it on the show. So yeah. So next up, I am going to move on to shop update stuff. So if you are not interested in that, I will see you next week. Happy knitting. But yes, I have a huge announcement for the shop, which tomorrow I will be launching Voolenvine Yarn's new website. It is called voolenvineyarns.com. Before it was just voolenvine.com, and my shop was on Etsy, but I will be moving my Etsy shop and website to its own home on the web. So that means I will no longer be selling through Etsy, so please update your bookmarks. But there will be a shop update tomorrow at voolenvineyarns.com at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you can do all your shopping. I will, as the weeks go on, I will have more on there, tutorials, I will have blog posts, and I just really want to make it a really fun site, more than just shopping for yarn. I want it to be fun. So you can watch the podcast on there. So yeah, it's still a work in progress, but the move is happening tomorrow. So again, get your bookmarks on your web browser. But just to give you a little sneak peek of what's going to be in the shop, there will be Octopus Garden, which is here on Blitzed. It'll be on some other bases, I believe, too. Stellar Banshee, of course. There will be some Dirty on Purpose. I'm going to be dyeing up some more today. So whatever I show you here, there's going to be more tomorrow. But this is what I have dyed up so far. This is a one-of-a-kind colorway. I haven't named it yet, but I was trying to dye Sea Lab again, which I wrote down the formula somewhere. I just can't find it. But I really like the way this turned out. This is like a really cool, like Enchanted Hunter green, I almost want to say, which might actually be a good name for it, Enchanted Hunter. I don't know, we'll see. So there's that, and then I will have Royal Amber, and let me see, some more Mexican hot chocolate. I will of course have fairy hair on various bases. Let me see, I have Angry Orchard will be in there, and then yeah, that's I believe all that I have to show you. I will have a lot of Ocean in a Shell. I dyed up a plethora of Ocean in a Shell, which by the way is this colorway, without speckles. So this was just a one-of-a-kind that I dyed up for myself. I don't know, maybe I will introduce it into the shop. If you're into the speckles, I guess let me know. I will have Jilted Rose. So yeah, that will be in the shop as well. We'll see how much dyeing I get done today. Yesterday it just didn't happen because we had company over and it's a 3-day dye week. So yeah. But just FYI, if you would like, going forward, if you would like to request a custom order, the best way, or the only way going forward, will be to email me. I have a contact form on the website, so wherever it says contact, click on that, or email me via voolenvineyarns@gmail.com with your custom order request. And when you request a custom order, let me know what you need, obviously, which base, which colorway, how many, your email, and your shipping address. And I will send you shortly after, once I receive your email, I will send you a invoice via PayPal. And then you just pay, and then within 5 to 7 business days, I will ship your order. So that's how it's gonna go. Please do not contact me about business orders via Ravelry, Facebook, or Twitter. The best way to do that, the only way that I'm going to get that order is through email or the contact form on my website. So voolenvineyarns@gmail.com. Otherwise, I really don't check Ravelry as often as I would like to be able to, and sometimes it just gets lost in a sea of friend requests, other emails, other PMs on Ravelry, and I just want to keep, I know I can link Ravelry to my Gmail, but I want to keep Ravelry emails and business emails separate. It just makes my life easier. It'll make it a lot easier for you guys to have your orders fulfilled and everyone's happy. So just FYI, that's how it's gonna roll. So yeah, otherwise I'm super excited. I hope you guys like the website. I put a lot of work into it. Granted, it's still a work in progress. I'm going to be, I'm still going to be improving upon it as the weeks go on. Sorry, my throat's really groggy now. Oh. But it should be a lot of fun. And yeah, so I hope to see you there again, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, June 5th, which is also Dennis and I, me and Dennis, our 4th anniversary tomorrow, which is when we got married 4 years ago. So that's going to be really fun. Dennis has some plans. He made some reservations. I don't really know what they are, but I think it entails dinner. And the following weekend, I guess I'm moving on to Blather. And so the following week, I surprised Dennis with tickets to a jazz fest on Governor's Island, where everyone dresses up in 1920s attire, and it's just a really lovely afternoon on Governor's Island, where there's dancing, there's drinks, there's lunch, it's like one giant picnic. So I have my dress picked out, and I will of course take photos. It's gonna be super fun. But yeah, I can't wait, and he seems very excited about it too. And yeah, so I can't believe we've been married 4 years. It just goes by super fast. So yeah, anyway, I was podcasting then too, 4 years ago, which is kind of scary, and awesome at the same time. So, and the podiversary is coming up. I'm babbling now, but lots of exciting things happening. So yeah, other than that, this weekend I have my cousin / niece. She calls me Aunt Kristen and Dennis Uncle Dennis. So we'll go with it. She's really my cousin, but she's 7 years old. She's having a dance recital tomorrow, so we're gonna see her perform, which will be really fun. And then we're going out to dinner, and then we're having a sump pump put in, hopefully on Saturday morning, which hopefully will take care of future flood issues, because I really don't want to have to relive that. It's not as bad as it could have been. It was not a Hurricane Sandy, thank goodness, but it was, it's pretty bad. So I've never lived through a flood before, so that was pretty scary. But anyway, and I want to thank everybody for all your, you continue to wish me good luck for settling in, and we're getting there. We're so close. Still a couple of boxes hanging around, but we're so close to finally being there. So yay, thank you guys. And otherwise, I think that is it. I'm going to spend the rest of the day working on the website, dyeing yarn, and then drinking lots of tea. Yeah, so okay, that said, I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Happy knitting. Bye.